Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome back. Another episode of the Island Church Weekly Podcast. We are here with Pastor Will as ever. And coming back from a little bit of time with family, both of us. So why don't you give everyone a quick update on kind of how your trip was?
Yes, it was a good trip. Shane and I went to South Carolina. We got two daughters in the Greenville area. We did so many things. We actually need to come back and actually rest, but we were back in the saddle. But
Yeah.
we watched some basketball with the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament there. We played some golf with my daughter. She gets a chance to meet her daddy, her husband, and a brother-in-law all in one round. So, and
Oh,
she plays a
girl.
couple times a year, but she's really good. So that was good. See the grandkids, and there's four there, and a fifth one coming on April 2nd. So just next week, actually,
Yeah.
we'll have our eighth grandchild, the fifth one in that area. And so we had birthday parties, we had family get-togethers, we had all kinds of stuff. In addition to that, this, as I think I mentioned, maybe last week, is I got a chance to baptize my 6-year-old granddaughter,
So cool.
and on Sunday. So that capped it off. Then we had the families got together and we had a meal together. So we enjoyed the time. So it was a good time for us. We did realize again, as most people that will listen to us will know, that is the reason with small kids, God gives you kids when you're young.
They take up a lot of energy.
Yeah, we having three in the house at 6 and under. That was interesting, but anyway, it's good. I mean, we know that moms with small kids, that's the hardest job I think that it could possibly be,
Absolutely.
and they're doing great. And Hadley, the one that's expecting next week, had church responsibility. She was there. Then she drove 30 minutes to do the baptism service. Then she drove back to do her church responsibilities. They've got a
Um,
million kids in her church, and she's the director of family ministries there. And
that's awesome.
I think over a short period of 2 or 3 months, they were having like 27 babies being born. I mean,
Wow. That's
and
wild.
she's in the
Wow.
middle of all that, having one herself. So anyway, it was a good trip and
Yeah.
good time, and so we're got one good night's sleep here the last little bit, and so we're ready to go again this week.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. I can
You,
attest that.
you were gone. You were
I
gone to do
was.
that.
I was up in DC and Richmond and kind of did the whole, revolutionary homes tours, and we did it with the three kids under 8. And so I can attest that it's not so much a vacation as is a great family trip. Vacation is a strong word that implies relaxation. It was not that, but it was a really sweet time with the kids. So yeah, we had a lot of fun with that, and ready to get back and kind of get back to work. And everyone is back to the normal rhythms, which is good for mom and dad. So grateful
Sounds
to be
good.
back. So, well,
Yep.
Pastor Will, you want to talk a little bit about how things were at Island Church this weekend?
Well, I wasn't here, obviously, and we certainly
Can't handle
enjoyed the
that.
service
Yep.
where we were there with our granddaughter and the family there. But it's my understanding Tom did a great job as usual preaching for me, and I heard that the music was solid and really lively as well this week. And so I'm looking to hear more today. Actually, get some more
Yeah.
reports as to what happened. My understanding Sunday was a good time. It's always good to have Tom, and Tom's just got such a wealth of experience between his church experience and then working with churches. And as you know, he's helping churches all over the whole country,
Absolutely.
and so he brings all of those things in when he comes to us. And of course, he's just a friend to us as well as you experience as well. So it's great to have Tom and have him as a resource and to be right here to speak to our people. So it's my understanding. It was a good Sunday.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, what's coming up in the life of the church that folks need to know about? Obviously, we got
Well,
Easter coming pretty
that's
soon.
it. I think
Big
everything's
one.
pointing towards Easter. We're just a
Yep.
couple of weeks away now, right? Less than 2 weeks away, and certainly appreciate you and the work you've done putting together our signs and our. I think we're talking about now. People can stay attuned
Yep.
to some video ads. You want to say a word
Yes.
about that?
Yeah. We'll be running some YouTube ads, which is a fun kind of new way to get people engaged. If you think about it, everyone thinks of Google as a place people go for information, but what people actually don't know is YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. So it's the place actually where so many people just go to YouTube. They type in a question, they type in, maybe they're going to Fort DeSoto State Park, and so they type in Fort DeSoto and they watch videos about it. I mean, it is a way that people engage with content on a regular basis. We're a perfect example of that, right? We put out a weekly podcast that's on YouTube. A lot of people spend a ton of time now on YouTube instead of their televisions. And so if we're trying to capture people's attention, it really is the best place to engage them, both because we can do really great targeting and kind of know who we're after, but then also we can use compelling video that really captures their attention. Think of like TV ads, that you all view. Those are obviously a lot more beneficial than like a radio ad or something like that. And so it's just a great way to kind of use technology, use the tools that we have available in order to reach more people and let them know what we have coming up with sunrise service and also the Easter egg hunt. So you may see some of those on your own personal kind of YouTube feeds as you're in there. You may not. It just depends on kind of what the algorithm gives that day. But we know we'll be able to have a lot of folks who get to hear about the church and get to hear about all the exciting things coming up because of doing some advertising on some new channels that maybe we haven't done in the past.
And we could actually show it, Matt, in our service. I just now thought about that. We can do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we could show those ads there. Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be good. So anyway, so that's what's coming up, the Easter egg hunt. Yeah. So it's my understanding from Jolene yesterday. Certainly appreciate the work that Jolene is doing on behalf of me and our entire church family, supporting our work. But I think she met with JJ this week and Teresa, and they're continuing to work on the various pieces with the Easter egg hunt. And then we are involved with our sunrise service. And I think if you'd like to help out in either one of those projects or both of those projects, we certainly could use some additional hands. We just need, we've got T-shirts up here. If you haven't got one of our T-shirts that Matt actually put together with Island Time, and it is getting island weather, right? I mean, it's now.
We're getting that season. Yep.
So it's going to be some nice weather. Hopefully, this coming Easter when we have these two events. But we'd love to have you do that, so you can see Jolene, see Sandy, see me, see JJ, see Teresa, see somebody. Do that. And then one of the interesting things to do for our guys, particularly, it's not just limited to the guys, but we set up on sunrise service. We actually pull out of the building at 4:30 in the morning, and heading down to Fort DeSoto. And we have the access. We can get through the gates and those kinds of things. Go down there and we set up and we put everything in a U-Haul. If you've not participated in that before, but everything's in there and probably in less than 30 minutes. Last year's almost like record time, like 22 minutes. We went from darkness at Fort DeSoto to lighting it up with sound and stuff. And we moved it. We preset some things in our truck, and then we preset some things with staging down there at Fort DeSoto. And so it's a good thing, but it's a way to get involved. And we need people to greet people. We need people to help set up, to help people to tear down. It's just a good time to get guys to get shoulder to shoulder. And we have a few young backs if we have some heavy stuff, but most of the things not so heavy. Just need some hands to do it. So I'd love to have you helping out in those two major events. This is a way that we can reach out to the community. For some people, this is the time where they begin to be interested in spiritual things, and we want to do our part to engage with them.
I love it. Well, that's a great word, Pastor Will. Thanks so much for sharing about how people can get plugged in. Easter coming up, an exciting time. I would just also encourage folks, bring a friend, right? Like everyone knows one person that needs to know Jesus, or that maybe has explored church in the past, but isn't really plugged in somewhere. But just encourage everyone to invite, along with serving, like find the one person you can invite. This is such a unique opportunity. It's something different than what most churches offer. And so I think it's a really cool opportunity to say, hey, even if you're not a church person, like come check this out. This is going to be an incredible, inspiring event that you're going to really enjoy, and they'll be exposed to the gospel while they're there. So we just encourage everyone to invite their one, and excited for all God has for Easter coming up. So should be a good time. Pastor Will, any closing thoughts before we end it for today?
Yeah, I do have one. I just for our people that are newer to Island Church, we also not only have the sunrise service, which is at 6:30 this year, based on when the sun rises. And so we do that service in about 40 minutes, 41, 42 minutes, and then we'll be ready for sunrise when it comes up. But additional to that, we also have our regular 10 o'clock service. Yeah. So a few people that are helping out pulling off the services will come to both, or you're welcome to come to both. But it's also a way to say to maybe some out-of-town guests, say, I don't really want to be up that early. I don't want to go down to the sunrise. That's fine. Then just bring them or encourage them to come at 10 o'clock. So just remember, we got both those, 6:30 and at 10. And historically, I preached two different messages. Last year, I just preached one because I had that request that I preached the same message. But look forward to those two opportunities. It's a big time for our church.
Absolutely. Great word. Well, thank you so much, Pastor Will, for the time today. Thank you all for watching the Island Church Weekly Podcast. We'll see you back here next week.